Hello and welcome to Kingdom Fathers. My name is James. We are on week number 5. Week 5, can you believe it? Of this YouTube journey. So if you are like me, a husband, a father, a Christian, and wanting to learn more about YouTube, follow us. We're going to continue to do updates like this and show you a little bit behind the scenes of what I've learned. Hopefully, as someone that's in the late 40s, it's not too late to get on YouTube. I really wanted to do this for several years, but I just didn't make the time to do it, thought that I wasn't capable. And honestly, it's a bit of a learning curve to get behind the camera like this and to get your confidence up and get used to talking to yourself. But I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to you. I'm helping you. I want to empower you as a husband, as a father, as a viewer. And I pray that is what this channel does for you. And you will want to subscribe and watch more. So we're on week 5 and there has been a lot of changes. There's been a lot of updates. And in the second video I'm going to do here, not a part of this, I'm going to show something that I did on a short that was really interesting. And didn't get a lot of views at all, like maybe 5 views. It failed miserably. But I believe that the content, the message that was in it was powerful and something just wasn't right. So I went back and redid it. And I'm going to do that in another video. This video is going to give you the analytics for our 5 weeks in. And I don't know how to measure against other channels. So maybe you can drop a comment below if you're on this same path and you're wanting to or have grown your YouTube channel. Maybe it's only been a month. Maybe you have done it for several years and you're struggling. Hopefully we can learn together and continue down this path of making every day better than it was yesterday. So that's our goal. We're going to transition over and we're going to do a overview for our channel here. This is obviously the studio, and I'm going to go back and make sure that our recording is doing what it should. And that's another thing about YouTube. You got to make sure that all your settings are correct and that you are showing the screens you want to, and they're not blacking out on you. So hopefully this is working the way it should. On our dashboard, 5 weeks in, we are only at 28 subscribers. And I say only is my goals were much more ambitious. Within the first month, I wanted to have several hundred, but I realized and know when I started this channel that I'm only looking for people who are looking for me. I don't want to reach just anybody. I'm specifically looking for a target audience. I want to help fathers, help young fathers or young men who are going to be fathers to fill that role in a way that aligns with God's word versus the world, to apply the things that I've learned in my life and mentoring, coaching so many other men and young men, that those qualities, those trainings, those things can be applied here. And as we review this, 28 doesn't sound like a lot of viewers or subscribers, but it is in my mind because I want a specific audience, and that's what I'm trying to target. So I'm not doing a lot of cat videos and just random videos. Mine are very specific, very targeted. And as I grow that and focus in on those attributes of what I want my channel to be about, that's why I want this kind of number to grow slowly versus super fast. But at the same time, I think 28 is a good number, and it's grown, says here 9 the last 28 days. Actually, we're only on week 5. So the first week of this has dropped off. We can go and look at the actual numbers for the whole channel and look at the way that it grew. One thing that I have noticed is that my YouTube, the long form content, I'm going to go to it. So if you look at your videos, you've got your videos, your shorts. I actually did a live last week. I may do another live this week. I just haven't done it on a schedule and want to get more people to watch those. But I've noticed that the channel has these older videos. Some people must be going back and watching because the count continues to go up a little bit, which is normal. If you want, you find a channel that you really like and you want to follow them, I do the same thing. I go back and look at some of the previous videos, some of the other content. But if you look at these views, I mean, some of these views are minimal I mean, really, 2, 6, 9, 11 on my first ones. And then I've got one here about how I quit the career that I had. That one has so far has gotten 25 views, which has been, the best video so far. If I look at these videos and I go into the detail of them, I do, I try to have everything in line. So I, I use you and it helps me with the title and also go in and do all of the chapters. So you can see and you can skip along or know where they're at. All the keywords are in here and trying to figure out what I want and YouTube to target, right? And as I go through that, I'm learning. It also is telling you when you need to post. So if you don't have this tool in your back end to grow your channel, I would highly recommend it. It is a great tool. It's called vidIQ, and they are not a sponsor. They're not a paid. It's just something I'm trying as a new content creator, and it has worked really well. So even when it says optimized score for 100 out of 100, my video has only reached 25 views, which, I don't know, kind of confusing. Maybe you could tell me a little bit more about it. Yeah, drop some in the comments. It's only got 1.2 hours of watch time. And from this 25 views, I've gained 0 subscribers. So still learning on what those numbers mean and how to read that. I do know that the average duration of this video, 30 minutes, only 3 minutes in, I guess, the amount of time watched. So they're not retaining the information. And maybe that's something I need to work on and we'll continue to evaluate. The reach, 138 impressions with 25 views. So that in itself isn't the greatest. Don't know if it's probably going to gain traction as YouTube learns my channel. It learns the keywords. It learns my target audience. And those will probably go up because this is over, if it was 100, it'd be 25%. So it's a little less than probably about 20% of the impressions are actually becoming viewers. So that's kind of on my long form and 5 weeks in, not very many total views, which is okay because not everybody's going to want this content and it has to be found. And I'm looking for people who are looking for me. So we're going to move over to shorts. I didn't do shorts, as I've said before. Initially, I just did them in the last probably 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And let's go back. First one was April 16th. So yeah, 3 weeks. And this has been really interesting because what I wanted to do with this is take parts of the long form content so that the shorts would point back to the original video. And the hope is that I wouldn't gain, a lot of people who are only wanting it for the shorts, that I would gain them for the long form. And that was a way to reach them. So it is working. Since doing this, I have probably gained 20 subscribers that have came from short views. Maybe you're one of them. And I thank you for that. Think that there are a lot of views that maybe don't get clicked to see the channel. And that's fine too, because we're going to get to those individuals at some point in time. And the more content we put out, the more that this will show through. So what I wanted to do is right here, early on, I had a few videos that I didn't upload. I left as private. I can always go back and add those. And then if you look though, some of them started out really slow and they crested, around the 400 to 500 mark. I did have a few get over 1,000, and that is really good because the life of the channel right now, let me look here. If we go back for 28 days, it's at 15. But if I change this and I go to the last 90 days, our channel, even being with only probably less than 50 views total on our long form, we've had almost 23,000 views, impressions in 5 weeks. So I believe that's good. I believe that that is a good indicator of how YouTube is pushing our content and getting views out there. 4,300 in the last 48 hours. Like I said, I'm going to do a video on this. How did I get 4,300 views on a brand new channel in 48 hours and growing. I'm going to do that video next. 28 subscribers total, as I mentioned, 59 watch hours, but of that, only a certain portion of that actually counts towards the YouTube monetization, which is fine. We're not worried about monetization at this point. I want to get our content out, get our story out, and help mentor and coach other men and fathers. And that's the main purpose of this, to share this channel and to help them connect spiritually and back to getting away from the worldly things, which is where my life has been um, transformed, just in all fashions, all areas. So as we look through this, I wanted to show you this video that was recently uploaded. It's the best video so far. And as I said, I'm going to do a separate one on how this happened. But I've had several videos in the last several weeks get over 1,000 views each. And that is attributed to, obviously, getting to this larger number. I'm not sure of this area that I have the channel of empowering men and fathers and setting this tone. I don't know how this is trending versus other channels. So maybe if you catch this and you see it, as I mentioned, drop a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are and how we can do better. Like, I mean, is this something that you believe will continue to develop and grow by the content you've created and what you've seen? And maybe, it's part of being the growth, the growth cycle, being a new YouTuber, finding your key audience, getting the right tags in there so that you get in front of the people that are wanting to watch. And maybe I can learn new ways as well on posting content. I know that the way that you do it as far as the hook and what you want to tell your story and how you want it to apply, you learn as you grow. And everyone says that their first, 50 videos that they did were the worst ones. So I've still got a long ways to go on that. And hopefully we'll continue to improve and be able to get to a point where our videos are getting, lots of views, reaching target audience we want. So I think that was about all I wanted to cover in the back end. And I think there might be a few other things that we could look at. Likes, I don't follow those as much. Um, Maybe I should. That's probably part of target engagement, is how many people are really getting the value out of our uh, videos, especially the shorts, is that you get a kind of a metric for how many likes. And the last little bit, the videos we did, we received in the 48 hours here, we've received about 43 likes. Retention time is another real big one that I wanted to focus on and try to get ways to improve that, because I know retention time is going to be where we get our views. It's going to be where we keep our target audience longer. And there's a lot in the back end of the analytics that we can work on to continually improve. So I'm just going through. I've got 4 views on my live. I'm going to go back and do another couple more lives and hopefully be able to provide some more value there as well. And I think that's it. So went over the videos. We went over the shorts. 5 weeks in, 22,000 views in total, and still growing. So the main thing I found as well, many people say, is be consistent. Is life is hard. We are running our business 5 days a week. We are still homeschooling children. They're almost done for my daughter's graduating and my son will be finishing up. Basketball season's over. All of those things that take you away from creating content. But I want to stay focused on this. I want to continue to bring as many videos as I can and continue this process of continually improving, continually improving. I'm a big proponent of that. The continuous improvement cycle, once you apply it to any part of your life, it continues to help you grow. And you see that moving forward every day. And if you don't know that continual improvement cycle, it is very rewarding when you go to set a goal and you say, I'm right here, but I want to get to point B. I call it in Kingdom Fathers, I call it, what is your Egypt and what is your Canaan? You're going from a place that is not serving you or you're not comfortable in, and you want to go to a better place. And by doing the continuous improvement cycle, you get to reset that every single time. So if you do that, you plan out what you're going to do, you implement it, you check your results, you adjust, and you plan it again. You can do that on a daily basis. You can do that on a weekly basis. You can even do that, if you're planning out your quarterly or your year. It applies to family. It applies to your work. It applies to anything, your spiritual life, how much you're going to study God's word, many things. But we always find that in that continuous improvement cycle, that we're being very intentional about our actions. We're thinking about them every day, and then we're adjusting our results we got so that we can make improvements and we can try it again. And that is life. We continue to do that. So I pray that this has reached you and that you have enjoyed the content and that the setup that we have here is working. We would really appreciate any comments and improvements that we can make to this channel, to the content we are providing now. And just say hello, give us a like, give us a follow, and we hope you have a great day. God bless.